The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Herod was the one who had John the Baptist arrested and bound in prison on account of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip, whom he had married. John had said to Herod, "It is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife." Herodias harbored a grudge against him and wanted to kill him, but was unable to do so. Herod feared John, knowing him to be a righteous and holy man, and kept him in custody. When he heard him speak, he was very much perplexed, yet he liked to listen to him. She had an opportunity one day when Herod, on his birthday, gave a banquet for his courtiers, his military officers, and the leading men of Galilee. Herodias' own daughter came in and performed a dance that delighted Herod and his guests. The king said to the girl, "Ask of me whatever you wish, and I will grant it to you." He even swore many things to her. "I will grant you whatever you ask of me, even to half of my kingdom." She went out and said to her mother, "What shall I ask for?" She replied, "The head of John the Baptist." The girl hurried back to the king's presence and made her request. "I want you to give me at once on a platter the head of John the Baptist." The king was deeply distressed, but because of his oaths and the guests, he did not wish to break his word to her. So he promptly dispatched an executioner with orders to bring back his head. He went off and beheaded him in prison. He brought in the head on a platter and gave it to the girl. The girl, in turn, gave it to her mother. When his disciples heard about it, they came and took his body and laid it in a tomb. The Gospel of the Lord. A gruesome gospel this morning. The idea of somebody being beheaded and dispatched. It's striking. The main figure, of course, today is whom we celebrate, the victim of Herod, of John the Baptist, of course, who preceded our Lord. But this figure of Herod, when you look at Herod, I dare say Herod reminds me a lot of modern man. Just let me say that again. Herod reminds me of a lot of modern man and our current predicament. Because you notice Herod, if you remember who Herod is in the story, Herod was the puppet king that the Roman Empire propped up. So remember, Rome, one part of their administrative genius was that whenever they conquer a territory, they would raise up of somebody in their midst as their fake king in order to exercise their power. And so Herod was the fake king propped up by the might of Rome. And Herod always understood that he was a fake king. He always understood it. He wasn't part of the Davidic line. So he knew he was taking a position that did not rightfully belong to him. And the only reason why he was king was because Rome said, if you don't honor him, we'll kill you too. So his power was precarious. But Herod, like modern man, had everything at his disposal. Herod had influence, power, riches, everything that we need in life. And this is what I mean that Herod reminds me a lot of modern man. Because what is secularism telling us as a culture? Again, this is infecting all of Western civilization as we're currently undergoing this massive secularization of our civilization. It is telling us, like Herod, we don't need spiritual things. Isn't that what we're told when we grow up here? You can add God to your life, sure, just like a hobby, like how we add stamp collecting, but it's not necessary. If you want to go to Mass on Sunday, sure, that's a nice little thing you do. Just like how you knit on Thursday nights or whatever, right? But what we're told as a culture, we don't really need God. Just be happy. Just go through life, buy things, seek pleasure. But at the end of the day, God is not quite necessary. So that's what we mean when we say the word secular. It means a worldview without God. That's where we are currently, modern man. But notice Herod. There's a line in here. It said that Herod, even though John the Baptist was imprisoned by him, Herod loved to listen to John the Baptist. It says here specifically, when he heard him speak, he was very much perplexed, yet he liked to listen to him. Meaning, even though Herod had everything that the world said he needed, money, power, honor, pleasure, it was not enough. See, this is now where we return back. Why modern man's heart will always long for more, even though we're always thinking, what is missing in my life? I have big houses, I have a big bank account, I have a nice life, but why am I still hungry for more? Just like Herod, who had everything, and yet John the Baptist had something which he longed for. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Always go back to that verse. Every single human being is created in God's image and likeness. Therefore, if we're created in God's image and likeness, only in God will we find our deepest peace.